Temperatures, they are falling as a winter storm heads our way.
Yes, it's creeping in. If you're at home or at a friend's place, the advice is stay put. We're standing by as Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo is about to give an update on the winter storm. We'll be streaming her comments live on KHU11 Plus right now.
Our Anayeli Ruiz, she is also there and will bring us the latest this evening. In the meantime, the Texas grid is expected to hold up to the winter storm, but local outages are still possible. We're keeping an eye on those tonight. Right now, Entergy does not have any outages for our immediate area.
That is certainly encouraging news. Also checking CenterPoint's outage tracker, which is responsible for most of Houston. So far, it doesn't look like there are any weather-related outages. CenterPoint says only 190 customers. Listen to that. 190. That could be on any day of the week, any time of year. 190 without power right now.
We're going to be tracking this winter storm as it moves all the way through our area from Huntsville to right here in Houston.
We have live team coverage for you tonight. Chief Meteorologist David Paul with the very latest on the timing and the conditions, David.
Now, between now and midnight, our northwest counties are going to begin to get iced up. There's the cold air coming into Texas. There's the Arctic front out in the Gulf that opened the door to the cold air, and it's spilling in right now. Cloudy sky, a little bit of light rain outside right now. Hobby 39, Bush 37, Sugarland 38. These temps have finally started to drop a little bit, and look at this. Brenham's below freezing at 29, Columbus at 31. That's important because they're beginning to get some of the moisture and precip coming in from the west. Here's the big picture. That's the Arctic front, so it slid in, allowed that cold air right at the surface to tuck underneath the upper level low, which is coming in over the top of that cold air, and that's setting the stage for the winter storm. And you can see how icy it is now from Dallas out of the I-35 corridor all the way to San Antonio, where they've had freezing rain the past couple of hours. There's more coming up from Mexico, and we'll zoom in on that. Temperature in Austin was sleet 24, San Antonio freezing rain 29, and then Brenham now showing 29 degrees and light icing beginning to occur across western portions of Colorado County, Austin County, Washington County. Brenham, again, you're down to 29 now. So is College Station and Bryan, Huntsville 33. But all of this is going to take over the north and western counties here over the next couple of hours. For the moment, Harris County, light rain, drizzle, mist, but everything's above freezing. Pat Kavlin, we're tracking the approach of this colder air and the icy conditions. How much longer does Harris County have before we start seeing the ice come in?
Oh, probably about 3 hours. I can't believe how fast that temperature dropped also out in Brenham. And that's just kind of going to give you a sense of how fast things will change here across the area. Also, the model is lagging behind on this, right? So it's 29 in Brenham right now. The model has us at 31 in Brenham. Once you get that precip moving over the area, the temperatures, they get pushed down even faster. And so, yeah, mid to upper 30s right now through Harris County. I think as we go through the evening and some of this steadier and heavier precip begins to move in, these temperatures are going to drop fast. I think we're going to have a prolonged period of significant icing occur to our north and west through the overnight. We're talking at least 6 hours with frozen precip accumulating on the ground. Within Harris County, notice 12:30 in the morning, temperatures are still on the edge, but I think we finally drop below freezing around 2 a.m. That's the guarantee I would give you. By 2 a.m., everyone's below freezing within the city and points north and points west. And then as we keep going through the overnight, if this is more filled in and steadier frozen precip, we're going to have more issues in terms of icing. If it stays like showery in nature, it's not going to be quite as bad. We'll see slick spots on the road, but it won't be a big power issue. Bottom line, it's out of here by 7 a.m. We get some clearing tomorrow. Temperatures can make a run at 40 in a few spots with sunshine. We do stay below freezing up north. The worst arrives tonight. Again, there is the potential for some significant icing, over a quarter inch possible in those areas, and then dangerous cold comes in Sunday night. We're talking about air temperatures down into the upper teens and low 20s. Tomorrow morning, though, mid-20s, guys. It's a cold one coming up for us. We'll talk about the steps that you need to do tonight before you go to bed and what the forecast is looking like over the next 48 hours, all in just a bit.
All right, we'll be watching close. I know you will. Thank you, Pat. All right, we've heard from the meteorologists. How about our reporters who are out in the field?
Matt Doherty has been feeling temperatures take a dive about an hour north in Huntsville. Matt, what's the latest on the cold there?
Things here in Huntsville are pretty quiet tonight. People heeded the warnings, are staying off the roadways as they wait to see, like we are, what's going to happen. Excuse me. Let you take a look outside and you can see everything is pretty much shut down across the city. They closed early most of these fast food restaurants, giving workers time to get home safely. That one place that's open right now is Whataburger. However, the manager told me that they're even going to be closing at about 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And although it's not raining right now, the roads here are wet. They're saturated from all those storms we saw earlier in the day. Our weather tracker is showing that it's 32 degrees here. David said it's 33 degrees, so we're still right on the edge of freezing right now. We'd expect it to be in place right now, but the ice has not started to accumulate on the ground yet. It just hasn't gotten cold enough here. That, however, is expected to change overnight. So the best idea for everybody out there is to still stay at home. Now, if the temperature does start to drop further and we do start seeing more rain, what we're going to be tracking then are some of these power outages that could happen. So we're going to be following that throughout the night. Len and Mia.
All the students at my old alma mater in Huntsville, Sam Houston State University, heeding the warning and staying inside. Matt Doherty, thank you. Okay, right now, let's go ahead and take you live to a news conference in progress. This is Harris County Judge Alina Hidalgo giving us an update on the storm preps and likely response from Houston TransStar.
It's the same for everyone. Just settle in for the night. Tomorrow we'll have another update, but I think for now you should plan that tomorrow, more likely than not, you'll be at home enjoying the football playoffs on TV, but we'll update you in the morning. In terms of power, I hear your concerns about the power. So many of us were here in 2021 during that freeze, during that power loss. I was here in the emergency center then. I remember it well. I remember how hard it was for all of us. And I want you to know that I personally have spoken with a senior executive at ERCOT and remain in communication with them. And I'm in constant communication with Centerpoint. As far as Centerpoint, Paul Locke will offer an update in a little bit. In terms of ERCOT, here's what I can tell you. Based on the information that I've been provided and based on what we know, it does not seem likely that we'll have a generation issue at this time. That does not mean it's not possible. ERCOT has made their generation fleet more weather resistant, is what they shared with me. They've also increased the energy capacity of the grid, but as I said, we can't take anything off the table right now. On readyharris.org, we have a link to the page on ERCOT's website that shows the supply of power, the generation, and the demand for power. And so you can see how close together or far apart those lines get, and it's updated in real time. So you can get it from readyharris.org. If you want to stay tuned to a particular social media or website, Ready Harris has the various accounts on the various platforms, and we'll be constantly posting information there. But please stay tuned to your local news as well for all the updates. Our Office of Homeland Security and Emergency
Okay, that was Alina Hidalgo we were listening to, just giving us an update ahead of the overnight when temperatures are going to take that dive. She's encouraging people to settle in for the night, stay at home. Don't worry too much about power. She's personally been in touch with an ERCOT weather executive. We'll have an update from Harris County Judge Alina Hidalgo in the morning. Now, let's take you back to our team coverage, traveling south, I should say, from Huntsville to Conroe. That's where we find Orko Manna this evening with a look at things there. Orko.
Yeah, Mia, we have been out here for several hours and it's been getting colder and colder. Right now we're sitting in the mid-30s right now, and if the temperature drops below freezing, below 32 degrees overnight, that could cause some major problems for the roadways out here, including I-45 here behind me. Again, if it starts getting below freezing, the rain from earlier that's on the roadways could ice over. Now that means seriously dangerous driving conditions. Montgomery County Judge Mark Keogh posting online a little bit ago warning of additional freezing rain overnight, adding that road conditions will likely deteriorate and urging people to stay home. The good news, we hadn't seen too many drivers out on I-45 tonight, so it seems that most folks are heeding the warning. So we caught up with a family who was just wrapping up some last-minute errands. What are you out here doing right now, and are you prepared for tomorrow?
Yeah, we already have the whole house prepared for tomorrow. We stacked up on some waters, stuff that we might need, but right now we're just filling up her tank, and that's it. Just going back home and staying there for the rest of the weekend.
You're going to be stuck inside all day tomorrow. What are you going to do?
Just getting warm in the house. Oh, it's cold out here.
Yeah, you heard it there. It is cold, and it is going to get colder and potentially icy. So just listen and take a note from that family you just saw there, and head home if you are not home already. Reporting live tonight from Conroe, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Look out when the kitties are cold. Thank you, Orko. Now let's head to Northwest Harris County. Maria Aguilera is there, Cypress, outside of Buc-ee's. And you've been talking to folks, Maria.
Yeah, Len, and let me tell you, this is the coldest that it has felt here in the Cypress area. We are in the high 30s, but that has not been stopping people from coming to Buc-ee's, fueling up and going inside to get some of their snacks. But people, again, are preparing. Some of the people that we have spoken with, they tell me that they are trying to get everything done right now before conditions get worse. And we did see that workers here spread salt on the sidewalks. They did spray salt on the sidewalks to prevent it from freezing so customers can get around. Overall, it looks like people are heeding the warnings, and they are ready to stay home for a few days if they have to.
Well, I came the other day before everyone else did, and I bought some of that firewood that you no longer see. So I've got about 5 stashes of that at the house, and I got a bunch of canned goods and things to make simple meals like tuna.
We are right along Highway 290 where traffic has now started to slow down. We did drive a little while ago and could see the salt mixture that was poured to help de-ice the road. Even with that, the roads are slick. It has been drizzling on and off all evening. So just make sure to stay careful because that could worsen conditions. Of course, we will stay here and monitor those for you. But for now, live in Cypress, I'm Maria Aguilera. Back to you.
Maria Aguilera, thank you. Several warming centers are open around the Houston area. We have a list of closures of everything from school districts to churches. To get that information, just text the word freeze to 713-526-1111. We'll text you back links to those stories on KHOU.com.